Dear students, in this session we are going to discuss regarding the different methods for the corrosion protection, that is corrosion protection techniques. Okay, in the previous session we have discussed regarding how actually the corrosion mechanism will be. Okay, so for that we know the steel reinforcement is very much important in the RCC structures. So they have to be do proper corrosion protection technique so that the buildings will give the durability. Okay, the building for the durable buildings, the corrosion protection techniques is very much important such that the corrosion should not affect the durability of the structures. Now in this particular section, where the students can understand the method of corrosion protection technique. So, this list we have seen in the previous session also, that is different corrosion protection techniques, that is coating to reinforcement, galvanized reinforcement, improvement in the metallurgy by adding metals, stainless steel reinforcement, non-porous reinforcement, corrosion inhibitors and corrosion protection. The coating to reinforcement is nothing but some of the things is coated to the reinforcement. For example, cement slurry and different types of cement cementitious material can be coating. If you apply coat for the reinforcement which avoids the corrosion. So we can see here the simple cement slurry coating is the cheap method of temporary protection against rotting of the reinforcement in storage. Okay, when it is in the storage, we have to put the some of the cement slurry over the reinforcement which avoids the reinforcement initiation period of the corrosion technique. So Central Electrochemical Research Institute have suggested the method for prevention of corrosion in steel reinforcement. So, coating to reinforcement is this institute is suggested to apply the coating of reinforcement when it is in a storage state, which helps a lot. Next, coming to the corrosion inhibitors, this is nothing but some of the chemical admixtures which is adding into the concrete while mixing. So, which affects which avoids the corrosion initiations. Okay, there are three types of corrosion inhibitors, that is anodic inhibitor, cathodic inhibitor and mixed inhibitor. We know the steel reinforcement, the having the anode and also cathode. So because of the negatively charged ions, what happens, there will be corrosion mechanism will be continued along with the oxygen and also the water. So if we add some of the inhibitors like anodic inhibitors, cathodic inhibitors and mixed inhibitors which avoid the corrosion development. Next, coming to the cathode protection, this is generally the most commonly used method and this is effectively used throughout worldwide. Okay, so as we know in the corrosion mechanism, we have discussed how actually the anode and the cathode will be and the free negatively charged ions will be causes for the corrosion. So by adding this corrosion, okay, that is cathode protection. The cathode protection comprises of application of impressed current to an electrode laid on the concrete above steel reinforcement. This electrode serves as anode. Okay, because the negatively charged thing is the main reason to the corrosion technique. Because of that, we have to introduce the electrode which serves as anode and the steel reinforcement which is connected to the negative terminal of the DC source acts as a cathode. So in this process, the external anode is subjected to corrode and the cathode reinforcement is protected against corrosion and hence the name cathode protection. Okay, so it is clearly mentioning here as we are the anode, that is electrode, what we are impress the current to the electrode plate. What happens actually, the electrode anode is subjected to corrode and the cathode reinforcement is protected. Because of this, we are calling this as cathode protection. In this process, the negative ions which are responsible for the damage of passivating film. We know the meaning of passivative layer. That is when the pH value of the concrete is up to 13, there will be protective layer called passivating layer. If once this protective layer is destroyed, then only the corrosion will be continuous. Okay, will be going on. So this in this process, the negative chloride ions, okay, the which is responsible for damage of the plastics are drawn away from the vicinity of the steel towards the anode, where they are oxidized to form the chlorine gas. If we are converting the negative chloride ions into the chlorine gas, what happens? It liberates, so that there will be no which can avoid the corrosion technique. Okay, we can avoid the corrosion of the reinforcement. So with this, we have discussed regarding the cathode protection, corrosion inhibitors, and the coating to reinforcement. Anyhow, all these methods are very important. So the galvanized reinforcement is nothing but the zinc coat is applied to the reinforcement. Okay, stainless steel reinforcement. Just we are introducing the stainless steel to the as the reinforcements, and non-ferrous is also same thing. Nowadays, in the production of the steel reinforcement itself, some of the non-ferrous materials is used while production of the steel, which helps, and that cannot stop the corrosion of the steel, but the initiation period, what we are calling as initiation period, can be enlarged. This is the main advantage of by using this. Anyhow, some of the methods we are having to avoid the corrosion in the reinforcement. Okay, so with this, we are at the ending stage of module 3. So in the next module, let us discuss some more with respect to our syllabus and also the subject. Okay, now with this, I'm going to close this session. Thank you.